Hey guys, welcome to A Taste for Life and to today's video, Recovery Report Card. For the past 5 weeks and since starting my new recovery plan, I have been keeping a record of different recovery elements that I feel are important to track what I have been eating, what I have been doing, and what I have been feeling day to day and across the week. By keeping a log of this information, I have been able to analytically compare my progress and/or regression in recovery with an evidence-based lens. And this has been very helpful in identifying patterns and trends that show if things are useful in my recovery or if they are a hindrance or trigger. So I have correlated last week's information and are going to present it in today's recovery report card. So beginning with my latest blood test results in comparison to the week prior, my bloods showed that both my phosphate and magnesium levels were below the normal range. However, this week there has been much improvement in my phosphate, which is back in the regular range. However, the magnesium maintains to be low, as well as vitamin D and iron. So all three of those things have been low in my bloods before. I think with the vitamin D, it's less of a concern because a lot of people suffer from vitamin D deficiency in Australia, as well as the iron. It is a little bit less of a concern because it's pretty regular amongst women. And the magnesium is sort of an ongoing thing. Now, it doesn't excuse that any of these levels are outside of the normal range, and I will be taking continual supplements for all of these things. However, I am happy with the progress that I am making. Next, when looking at my sleep last week in comparison to the week prior, there has been some slight improvements. Now, this is always a plus, but my week prior was particularly bad sleep. So even last week, my sleep was not where I wanted it to be and nowhere near where I know it needs to be. So whilst I know there is room for some major improvement with my sleep, I have been trying different techniques such as sleep meditation before bed to try and improve things where I can. Unfortunately, I'm not getting the exact results that I want, but it's good that I'm trialing different things, and I'm at least thankful for the fact that my subpar sleep is not having a physical impact on my body. Next, I'm going to be looking at my meal plan and what I have been eating this past week. So I have done very well to stick to my prescribed 3 meals and 2 snacks a day. And despite coming from a very fussy eating background and one in which has several texture and flavor intolerances even prior to the eating disorder, I have been further challenging that this week by trying Biscoff, cottage cheese, and vegan chicken tenders. I also reintroduced carrots into my meal plan and peanut satay sauce. And just to go the extra mile, I tried a new flavor combination of things I know I like to eat separately but have never tried together before. And that was boiled apples with white chocolate spread and Nutvia strawberry jam. So overall, this is very similar to my prior week, which I was also trialing a lot of new flavors and different flavor combinations that I have not had before. However, it does show my willingness to progress and the fact that I am willing to challenge my palate. Next, looking at my past week's daily activity and my overall mood, I can see that it's pretty consistent to the week prior, in which both my activity levels and mood are pretty stable and in a good place, being that I am pretty active day to day and keep my day very busy, and in the sense that my mood is regulated to a decent level. However, similar to the week prior, I feel like there's space for improvement for both my activity levels and my moods, simply by incorporating more spontaneity into my week in an effort of making me feel less agitated when things don't go exactly as I've scheduled. And finally, when looking at my overall well-being, I feel like there has been some slight improvement compared to the prior week to this past week when looking at the fact that I have been trying to incorporate some sleep meditation into my routine, also by the fact that I am continuing to make progress with my psychologist, and in the fact that I have been working on some homework given to me by a very special helper in my life who has been counseling through some of the things I have identified as triggers. So when looking at my eating disorder recovery this week in contrast to the past, I can see that there has been some slight dips in my bloods, which just on a side note also means that I can't go back to work yet as my doctor is waiting for my bloods to improve before he gives me the fit to work letter. He really wanted to review me in a couple months time, but I really don't want to wait that long, especially because this is the same thing he had said to me a couple weeks ago as well. So I am seeking a second opinion for that. A little improvement in my sleep, good maintenance in my meal plan and challenging my already fussy palate, some progression in my activity and mood, and finally, a few good steps in improving my general well-being. Overall, I rated this week a 7 out of 10 or a B. Meaning that I've made a few good steps forward, but there is definitely still more room for improvement. But just in case I was a little bit unconsciously biased, I also asked both my mum and dad for outside perspectives of grading me this past week. My dad simply said that I did much better than the week prior, so he gave me an A, and very generously, my mum also gave me an A, due to the fact that I had a sleepover at my boyfriend's sister's house, which is a new environment for me. I also ate both my dinner and dessert in front of them, which again is a complicated thing for me because I have issues with eating around new people, and also because I dropped a few of my meals and broke a favorite dish of mine and still didn't let that stop me from eating. So very generous scoring from my mum, but she did mark me down from an A+ to an A just because she said my sleep has been pretty off this past week. Thanks for watching, and I will keep you posted. Bye.